Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Raymond of The Raymond Show. Now new and improved with Janaé. I'll get more into my pint-sized broadcast partner later, as she will be doing an exclusive interview with Celestial. But for now, I am here to promote our next event, Red, White, and Bruised, on June 27th at Olympic Stadium in Hoquiam. It's part of the Hoquiam City Hullabaloo Festival that celebrates this nation's great 250th birthday, of which I've only lived 60 years of. But I heard the whole thing has been pretty good. In any case, they have car shows and all sorts of fun stuff. But then, at 3 p.m., we all move down to Rogue Wrestling Attractions, Red, White, and Bruised, in Olympic Stadium, where there will be live music, food, vendors, beer, wine, and all sorts of fun stuff happening. The Raymond Show will be appearing with Raymond and Janaé in their first official public appearance. And the wrestling starts at 7. We've got a heck of a card matched up for you. We don't even start soft. It just stays loud and stays weird. So let's get into that card. First off, we have a tables match. You may be asking, who the hell starts an event with a tables match? Well, Rogue Wrestling Attractions does. That's who. This is JB Moonshine versus the Ideal Reflection, Christopher Ryseck. Okay? Ryseck, you know Ryseck, he's wrestled enough. He's a technician. He's in love with himself. He gives our action photographer, Lisa's heart, a reason to go bippity boppity boo. JB Moonshine, he is who he is, and that is a little bit tipsy from whatever's he's gotten that junk. The betting lines are off on this one, but the over and under on JB Moonshine's blood alcohol content is probably twice the legal limit, which makes him hard to knock out. He doesn't feel pain. And Christopher Ryseck doesn't like to get hit in the face, so there's going to be tears from this one somewhere. Next up, we have City Pride. This is a grudge match between the Beast of Aberdeen, Big Nasty Logan, and Rogue Wrestling Attractions owner and CEO Ken Cash, the man who's a business genius and has the charisma of a high school principal. Big Nasty Logan thinks that Ken's been jerking him around, and maybe he has. Maybe Hellbound just does what they want in this promotion. Regardless, BNL has some complaints, and Kenny also has some complaints, so we're going to settle it here for charity. Both cities have put up a charity package that would go to Coastal Harvest Partnership. You will also have a chance to donate to that in person and online. So come out if you're from Aberdeen, if you're from Hoquiam. It's the old Crimson and Gray versus Blue and Gold rivalry. Root for your favorite, even if you can't stand the man in the ring. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, you've been asking us to have a women's division. We have brought you a women's division. For the first time ever, Rogue Wrestling Attractions will crown a women's champion. Danica Della Ruse versus Janice Jett versus Sunny Days. You've seen Danica in an RWA ring before. She fought valiantly and actually bested Skylar Hope, who I call the Audacity of Hope, hoping to see her back sometime. But she's going to face two very young, hungry women, Sunny Days, Janice Jett. This triple threat match, that means there's no rules, there's no DQ. They can do whatever they want. They can probably, do whatever they want. It's going to be nonstop. There is no bathroom break. This is not when you want to go to the bathroom. I've seen all three of these women wrestle. They're angry. They are mean, and they want gold. And next, we've had a change of plans. Unfortunately, Celestial hurt himself in a match in Portland a while back, so he won't be able to wrestle at Red, White, and Bruised. He is disappointed. You're disappointed. I know, we're all disappointed. But here's where you get a treat. My new broadcast partner, Janaé, has an exclusive interview right now with Celestial. I'm going to take you to that. Here that is now. Take it away, Janaé.
Thank you for having me, Raymond. Yes, I am here with Celestial. Now, Celestial was supposed to face off with Chuco Bumm June 27th at Red, White, and Bruised. But with an injury, there's no telling when he'll be facing off with anyone again. So we're going to talk injuries, we're going to talk recovery, and we're going to talk about why he chose Marco A.R. Antonio to be his replacement. Thank you so much, Celestial, for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me. So May 15th, I was actually wrestling Marco Antonio. Normal match. I was going for a frog splash from the third rope. I landed on my feet, but when I landed on my feet, I kind of landed with my left foot kind of bent outside instead of like bending normally. I kind of felt like my bones grinding against each other. One of the wrestlers who was there, she said that she heard my bone snap. At first, I thought that I might have sprained something. And I realized that I couldn't get up and that I couldn't move my leg from the knee down. So Fidel, he stopped the match. Like a good co-worker that Marco Antonio is, like he, mid-match, like he asked me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "I don't know yet." Everybody from the locker room came out. They all started carrying me to the back. In my 15, 17-year career that I have been doing this, this is the first time that I haven't finished a match at all. My first thought, it was like, oh no, my mom's gonna freak out because she was there with me. When you're a mom and you see your son getting hurt, obviously that kind of makes you worry, Yeah, I broke my tibia plateau fracture. The doctor they were like, well, we need you to understand that you need to have the surgery done this week. So Marco Antonio, he as a wrestler, he's amazing, but as a human being and his family, like absolute angels. Like they took care of me. It was one of those instances where like Chuco, Marco, Derek Shaw, all three of them like were the first one to reach out. Oh, what happened? Even though me and Chuco were rivals, he's still one of my best friends.
What kind of challenge would have Chuco been to you if you were able to fight him?
Chuco has a bag of tricks. He's an amazing wrestler. You gotta be ready with Chuco for anything. Chuco is one of the best luchadors here in the Pacific Northwest. He would have been a big challenge for me.
So, since you were able to choose your replacement, why did you choose Marco A.R. Antonio?
When I was laying down on the ground, Tyson Lee, which, by the way, Tyson Lee and a few other wrestlers from down in Portland, they keep checking on me, so thank you guys. He was the one who suggested Marco, and I was like, yeah.
Oh.
Bringing him to RWA will actually expand our lucha. I'm trying to pick the best wrestler that can replace me. I know that he's new, so I know that he needs that exposure. I am pretty happy with RWA, so might as well just bring Marco in here so he can get that exposure of a more professional level.
Well, speaking of exposure, what does Mark A.R. Antonio bring that the crowd should know about? Let's plug Marco for us.
Marco, he is an extremely good high flyer. He's funny. When he needs to get serious, he'll get serious. Don't let his size surprise you out of nowhere. He might be going 100 miles an hour, but if you don't pay attention, he's gonna be going 300 miles an hour. So you just gotta be ready for him. Him and Chuco having a match together will be one of the best things that RWA will be seeing.
What advice, if any, would you give to Marco A.R. Antonio about Chuco Bumm?
My advice to him about Chuco is don't get relaxed. Be on your top of your game with Chuco regardless, even if you're tired, because Chuco has so many tricks. Chuco comes from one of the best schools down in Texas. Legacy.
Wow. I had no idea.
Do not relax. Keep on going, because Chuco will just keep on pushing you.
So I want to hear from you. What does lucha wrestling mean to you personally?
So lucha means a lot to me. For me, lucha libre means our culture, our masks that we wear. It doesn't just symbolize a character, but it also symbolizes you in a way. Lucha libre is warriors who not just play a character, it symbolizes who we are in our culture. I'm going to try to bring the best thing that I can for you guys to actually live the authentic lucha libre.
My next question for you, who in RWA do you respect the most and why?
In RWA, who I respect the most, it will be Kenny. I see how much passion, effort, time, how proud he is of his brand. For me, every time I get booked through RWA, I have that weight on my shoulders that I want to bring the best. I want to put in the best match for RWA. I respect Kenny so much for putting so much effort and making RWA one of the top best companies to work for in the Pacific Northwest.
That was a Raymond question. My next Raymond question is very Raymond-esque. The question is, who do you want to punch in the mouth the most for professional reasons?
Who I want to punch in the nose? Nobody.
Good answer,
No, I mean,
good answer. I'll relay that message to him, that no one at this time. So what's your timeline for recovery, and when can fans expect you back in the ring?
My timeline right now is in the air. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to walk yet until August 18th. I'll be back late 2027 or the beginning of 2028. Students, I have to. Some of them look up to me, so I'm not just going to be abandoning them. Once I start my rehab, I'll be posting more about it. All of you listening to me, and all of you who love lucha libre and who love professional wrestling, you guys should come out. You guys will actually be seeing, living, feeling, and experiencing one of the biggest shows for RWA. See your favorite wrestler, just come in, enjoy the show. Just live it, feel it, experience it. You're not just supporting your favorite wrestlers, but you're also supporting RWA.
Thank you so much, Celestial, for taking the time to interview with me, and we're so excited to have you on June 27th. Raymond, back to you.
Welcome back to the Raymond Show with Janaé. That was Janaé. Thank you very much, Janaé. As I said, she's going to be my regular partner. She's already much better at I am than interviewing. So she's going to give me tips on how to interview. And I'm going to give her tips on not to care what anybody thinks about her. Anyway, as you can see, I have updated the Lucha banner to show now that it's Chuco Bumm versus Marco A.R. Antonio. Two things that stood out for me from that interview is it doesn't matter who you're battling with in the ring. If there's an injury, all these wrestlers just put aside all their differences. They're a brotherhood, and they carried him from the ring. The other thing I'd like to point out is that if the Pacific Northwest Pitbull TNT Tyson Lee, he actually recommended Marco A.R. Antonio, which is, to me, it just signifies what kind of a person he is, because when Draven Vargas ditched him at the last show, he actually asked if he could wrestle our new rising star El Tigre Oro, because he knew it would be a challenge, and he knew that El Tigre Oro could use the match, and he really looks out for young talent. He could have just given a match to a crony, but he cares about the younger talent and making sure that we see new, exciting matchups. So I'm not supposed to pick a favorite in the final match, but if I had to, I wouldn't say what it was. Anyway, speaking of the final match, here we are. The Fatal 4-Way for the brand new Rogue Wrestling Attractions Heavyweight Championship. We've got the Harbor Havoc champion, Draven Vargas. We're blowing up his title. We have Pretty Boy Troy Prescott. We're blowing up his title. We're taking the number one contender for the Harbor Havoc title, TNT Tyson Lee. We're throwing him in the pot. Then we're taking the number one contender for the Cascade Chaos Championship, the Hellhound Petrov, and putting him in the pot. That's right. That's two members of Hellbound versus two guys who can't work together if they want to win a belt, but both hate Hellbound. This is going to be a food processor of violence and bad feelings. This is going to be a grudge match like you haven't seen in a long time, and it's got a prestigious belt on the line. You'd be the inaugural Rogue Wrestling Attractions Heavyweight Champion. You're going to want to be there when the champion is named, is when he takes that title away from three other men. Pretty Boy Troy Prescott is one of the most decorated champions in the Northwest region, and he would love to have this on his resume. This would be a Hall of Fame solidifying accomplishment for him. Hellbound, well, they just collect gold because they love gold, and it helps you, it lets you act like a jerk. So they love their gold, they want their gold. Frankly, I don't know that either one of them have to have it. I think as long as one of the two of them win it, they're going to be fine. And then you have TNT Tyson Lee, the Pacific Northwest Pitbull. He is on an incredible run right now. He won the number one contender for the Harbor Havoc Championship in I believe it was a triple threat. Draven Vargas has been ditching him. He's been just mowing down opponents and surprise opponents and odd opponents that wrestle in a completely different style than he's used to. He's beaten everybody, and he's a stand-up guy. Again, I can't pick favorites, but if I had to, I will tell you who it was. But I know I'm betting. I hope to see you at Red, White, and Bruised June 27th at Olympic Stadium. Rogue Wrestling Attractions is putting on a great show for you. You will never see anything like it. Hope to see you there. This has been Raymond with The Raymond Show with Janaé.
The Raymond Show with Janaé is an Earl's Place production.